Good morning. Welcome to the new farm. So Chris and I are out setting the barn so that we can sort sheep this morning. I'm just blocking this aisle off so they can't get down there and cause mayhem. So we should be ready. Okay, so this morning, it's kind of a somber morning here. We have the mobile processor coming to process our cull ewes and our ram, and that's it. So we have 2 cull animals in here with grazing with the main flock. I'm not sure if I talked about it before, but one of them is a free marten. And you can look that up. But like when we tried to put that animal in with the ram and the ewes in the cull group, they fought, the ram and the free marten. So we had to bring them back down here. And then there's also that ewe with the ovarian tumor. So we're just going to quickly sort those 2 out now, and then we're going to go around and set up. I'm not planning to film a ton today. I feel a little conflicted about putting this out there. I know people have a hard time with this, believe me. It's not an easy time here. But it's part of the job. So we're going to get going. Chris is going to push them in. The cull animals are going to go into this little pen, and everybody else is going to be released to make a mess out here, but hopefully they'll go right back in. Go ahead. You got eyes on Terry? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I see her. Okay, so that job is done. It went nice and smooth. So we're just putting things back where they need to go here, and then we'll move on to the next step. We're keeping these guys inside for a few hours because of the processing, but also because we need to set a bale on the patio, and it's easier to do if they're locked in. Okay, so here is the cull animals. Our ram, we've used him 2 years in a row, so he's gonna go. And then also we have some 8-year-old ewes in here, ewes who had significant lambing difficulty this year and did not produce live lambs. So they are gonna go. That's the hardest part, is these girls who have been with me a long time. Here's a look. They've been loving life back here, eating, sunning themselves, with none of the nonsense of the rest of the flock. So the plan is to get them all into this shelter and then close the gate. Okay, so the plan to get them all into the shelter is for me to put some corn in there. Like I've said before, we feed very little grain, but they know what it is and they like it, so it makes it things like this a little easier and less stressful. So I'm just gonna put this trough in, and then the corn. Okay, so my goal for this day, and the thing that has been stressing me out all week about it, is that it's as low stress as possible. We try really hard to make this not frightening. So anyway, that's where my mind is right now, trying to manage the animals in a way that to avoid that. Oh, the guy's here. Okay, I'm gonna be done filming. I'll check in when it's over. Okay, it's a few hours later. We are all set. It went really well. It was really calm, really smooth. My weeping was kept to a kind of a minimum. I mean, there's always a lot of weeping. Anyway, we're all set. I'm exhausted emotionally and physically. So I'm signing off for now. Have a good one. All right. Good afternoon and welcome to the new farm. How come we're not focusing on me? Let's see what we can do here. Oh, battery dying. What is happening here? Okay. Okay. Good afternoon. Welcome to the new farm. Today is February 1st. It's the afternoon. I spent the morning working at the house. Chris is not feeling well. We're taking it kind of easy this weekend. Actually, I'm not feeling great either. Now that I start talking, I feel like I am sounding a little... Anyway, so I am just out here. I was going to do some tidying in these two inner barn rooms and then do the evening chores and close the barn up for the night. Okay, so I wanted to talk briefly about processing our cull animals. So the reason that we were able to use a mobile processor is because we're planning to use all of this meat for ourselves. What we did is all ground, like a 70-30 grind. I have some right here. This is a 5-pound pack. So the plan for this is to do some sausage making for our own consumption, and then the rest will become food for our dog. You know, I know there's a million other sheep YouTubers, and you see their cull animals, because they have many more than we do, go onto a truck. You know, they're going to auction, and many times, well, depending where they are in the world, many times they're sold for very little money. They're more valuable to us to feed the other animals on the farm. I know it can seem harsh to people that some animals on this farm eat the other animals, but I am one of those animals on the farm as well who eats the other animals. So we processed six sheep, and what we have back is around 200 pounds of ground meat and a lot of bones for the dogs, and a large amount of tallow that I'm going to try some candle making with, and then also hearts and livers and caul fat. So we have, so we got a lot of different products out of them. I don't know. This has turned into like something really long. Sorry about this. So I have a little process that I go through when we are letting animals go. I just want to thank them, and that, convey to them that my hopes for them are that their end is as painless and stress-free as possible, which is what I hope for all of you and myself. So if I seemed matter-of-fact about it on the day, it's because I wanted to do the very best I could to make sure that it went as smoothly as possible. I owe that to them. Also, I'm a human who smiles when I'm uncomfortable. So, and laughs. So anyway, so if there's any smiling or laughing there, be aware that that is not reflective, that I'm not taking it lightly. These animals mean a lot to me. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. So what I'm out here to do now is I already said this, but I'm just going to tidy up in here. I have Ari with me. He's bored. Sheepdog bored in winter. The drag of a seasonal job. So here's how we're looking now. Table is mostly clear. I mean, the freezer was always clear. This area is clear if I need a rest. This shelving unit is accessible for walking. The pottery area is what it is. And then over here, this area is all looking good. Good evening. Welcome to the new farm. Look at that gang. So it's Monday night, February 3rd. Chris and I are just coming out. We're going to bed the indoor pen, and also we have a sick sheep that we want to look at. So we need to put the whole flock through the handling system so we can get a hold of him. Okay, here I am in the pottery, newly cleaned and organized. Okay, so I'll show you when we get out there. But Harry, one of our wethers, we have two wethers. They were companions to the ram. They're mixed in with the main flock right now. Harry is scouring. They're twin brothers. Harry and Wolliver are their names. And Harry is scouring. We don't have any experience with scours in adult sheep. Maybe we've just been lucky until now. So I am going to look at him, see if we think he needs to be wormed, but I am going to treat him for coccidiosis. We did have a fecal done earlier this year that had moderate coccidia, and we did treat the entire flock at that time, the preventative dose, but we're going to give him the treatment dose. Okay. You want to shut that? I didn't shut it, but you should be better than me apparently. Okay, so we looked at all the instructions, and the instructions are that you shouldn't ever treat just one animal, that you should always treat the whole flock, because if one animal has symptoms, then they've all been exposed. So we are going to put it in the flock drinking water. I mean, technically this is their only source of water, but they can also eat snow. I don't know. I mean, we'll follow up on this. This is not going to be the only thing that we do, but so we have a 15-gallon water trough there, so it's 1.5-ish ounces, a little more than 1.5 ounces of the medication, and then apparently it's very bitter. When we did treat the whole flock in July as a preventative, they did not drink the water. They were displeased. So some advice from another sheep farmer was to mix Jell-O with it, and then I talked about it with our vet, and she said powdered Gatorade you can mix in to make it more palatable, and we have neither of those things, so I just have some sugar and a wooden spoon, and I'm gonna mix that in, and we'll see how it goes. Like everything, we'll see how it goes. Okay, here's the water trough. I'm trying to do this with, have enough hands for this. Okay, sugar. We'll top this up before we go in tonight. And chlorid. Stir. The water is nice and warm because this is obviously heated trough, so hopefully that sugar will dissolve and the gang will find it to be a pleasant beverage. It's like Kool-Aid, sheep Kool-Aid. You don't need any of that. We don't even know if it's safe for chickens. Got some rogues here.
You want to just put these guys through there?
Oh yeah, sure. That's a good idea. Okay, so Chris has everybody in the aisle there. Oh, here, these guys are coming through. Oh, not her. She got captured last time for an ultrasound. I think she didn't enjoy herself. Weird. There's a stopping tea straw at the bottom, so that's fantastic. Come on. Go. Okay, so this is the guy. This is Harry. He looks pretty pale, so I am gonna worm him. How much do you weigh, friend? Ugh, the syringe fell behind. I'm sorry, buddy. Chris is coming to help me. So the plan was to get a fecal sample from him, but Chris has identified a big pat of diarrhea out on the patio, so we're just going to take that rather than have me go in there for one. I have a helper here. Okay, I am bad at this. Bad at it. Come on, buddy. Ugh. There. Ugh. I'm sorry that your farmer is inept. Okay. Okay, Harry. We'll just try a little bit more. Okay. Okay. So he is 303.
Now I'll go in.
Okay, yeah. So here he is right here. If he turns, you can see that his rear end is covered in liquid stool, and he's pretty stinky. Okay, I meant to film it, but I didn't. I topped up the water, so we're full to the top. I'm gonna go get a fecal sample. So I'm gonna grab it, and then I'm gonna turn the glove inside out around it. So I'll be back. Okay, so an ongoing problem we've been having that I've talked about a little bit on here is the fact that our sheep preferentially eat straw. So this straw, they don't like the hay that we made this year, and our hay is wet, so we can't bed with it. We can't use it for bedding because it's haylage, which means it contains about 50% moisture. So it's not going to keep them warm and dry. And then we buy this beautiful straw from a local farmer, and then they eat it. And so what has happened here is that we haven't been able to keep them clean and dry because they eat the bedding, and also because they eat the bedding, you know, they're infecting themselves with worms or coccidiosis or whatever. So like when I complain about them being jerks and doing this thing, it's not just because of the expense. I think I mentioned the expense before, but it's not just because of the expense. Like they need this bedding to keep them healthy, and if they eat it instead of laying on it, like they're always going to eat some, but they clean it up. Like it's intensely frustrating. We do have a plan to get better hay. So down there's a cat or a rabbit in the barn that the sheep are following. But then whatever it is, it frightens them, and then they all jump back. Anyway, I don't know where it's gone now. Chris scared the cat out of the straw shed, so... Oh, there's a good view of our sick guy's rear end. Okay, I better get to work. Okay, sorry, ADD. So Chris is gonna bring in a couple bales of straw so that we can do a better job bedding. He brought in 2.5 bales, 1 bale. They continually break into the straw shed and eat the straw, which is another annoying thing. So those bales don't roll out because they won't roll because they're too tippy. Anyway, so he brought in one of those and a full one. We're going to roll the full one. We're just going to put the full one aside for now, and then we're going to try to roll the partially eaten one out as best as we can, get this bedded up really well. Okay, so I'm going to get to it. When the sheep don't chew on the bales, they unroll nice and evenly, right? When they do, those outer layers just fall off immediately. You end up with like 200 pounds of straw right there. And like nothing down here. It's amazing. the end. So this is what it's looking like. Edie,
Hello, ladies.
she snuck in and she's at the all-you-can-eat buffet. Okay, so that's us for tonight. I'll take this fecal sample in tomorrow. I'll let you know what it says. I haven't been feeling great. So, oh, I don't have a mic on. Oh, you can hear my breathing because I'm not mic'd. If you're still watching, thanks.